So, welcome to this day's briefing session. It's an orientation briefing for the dual top-up BABA awards. So, I'm Dr. Mary, the Deputy Academic Director for Brittany University. So, I'm going to share screen and take you through the slides, which will give you a very good understanding of the program that you have signed up for. And what I will cover today will be these 5 areas: the partnership and awarding universities, the program structure, the program process, the program support, and the program final degree classification. Okay, so the first one is on partnership and awarding universities. As you know, this is a dual award. So you are going to get an award from Brittany University, which is in France, and the UCAM University, which is in Spain. And this is what your award looks like. The program name is exactly the same: Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, but it comes from two very strong universities in their own region. Now we come to the program structure. So here, the program structure of the entire Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration has got specific learning outcomes, right? So these learning outcomes will train you to undertake a number of academic responsibilities, all right, and also prepare you for the job. So the first one you will have is knowledge and understanding. So what knowledge and understanding will you be familiar with? It is the business environment in which managers operate, and the application of business concepts and tools to specialist aspects of business, and the development of business strategy within a European and international context. Then comes application. Having a lot of knowledge is not enough. You need to be able to put it into practice. So the application comes in. So there are 3 learning outcomes. You will be able to apply business concepts to a range of specific organizational scenarios. You'll be able to synthesize appropriate solutions to complex business problems and evaluate the effectiveness of a business activity. So here you become quite useful in the organization, because what you're learning, you're going to see how to interpret it within the organization you work for. You will also develop skills, that is C. First one, analyze operational situations and devise approaches that may improve the performance aspects of an organization. You will have skills to generate ideas for new business activity and evaluate the feasibility of those ideas. This you will gauge and gather because of the discussions that take place and the materials you read. C. Evaluate the business environment and make judgment as to how business activity might be adjusted to respond to changes. As you know, now the whole world is going through this pandemic, and the way businesses operate is changing. So if you, when you cover the topics of maybe change, you will see how you can apply it in your workplace. You will also have the skill of acting independently in constructing your own learning models. You'll be able to plan and undertake tasks and accept accountability for own learning decisions. Then you will be able to identify accurately those issues which require research and apply appropriate methodologies using a variety of sources. So, what the program is preparing you for is to transfer your knowledge, to acquire skills, and to apply. And we also have something called transferable skills. So you just don't learn it for yourself. You'll be able to use what you have learned to pass on to others. So the first one is to communicate in writing appropriate for specific academic and professional audiences. You'll be doing a lot of writing, and this will help you to put your thoughts onto paper. You'll be able to reference all the source materials consistently and accurately using the Harvard referencing system. There are more than one type of referencing system, but we are recommending the Harvard referencing system. So you should only refer to that which is available on the portal. And referencing is one way to be not accused of plagiarism. When you do your assignment and you don't tell us what books you read or where you got that information, then you're committing something known as plagiarism, which can result in an immediate fail. So, referencing is very important. To present effectively for specific academic and professional audiences. So, whatever you're submitting to your lecturer, to your center, these are academic audiences, the lecturers, the teachers, the professors. But whatever you learn is also useful in your um, professional world, all right? That is where you go to work. Then productively use appropriate information and communications technology. You will learn that having too much of information can be a disadvantage because people do not have time to read everything. So, your assignments have a word count. You have to stick within the word count because that is using appropriate information, not giving us everything that you find. Then we teach you how to work independently. We give you an assignment and you go on your own to do your research. So that can be transferred to the workplace. What about problem solving? Some of the case studies that are given here are all problem solving. So we are training you how to think critically and resolve issues. Research skills and the use of modern online electronic sources and databases. So you will need to refer to journals and textbooks and websites and listen to videos. And we are providing you with all of them. And finally, what is transferable is how you're going to manage time. As you know, when you present a meeting like today, I've got 1 hour. I have to be able to manage my time well, all right, with what I'm going to present. Next comes the program structure. So ECTS is European Credit Transfer System. So you have 10 and 20. So for the 10 ECTS, you'll be doing business innovation, business planning for new ventures, international HRM, and strategic management. And then for your research project, that carries a weightage of 20 European credit transfer points, right? Then comes assessment. So this is one of the areas that all students want to know. How am I going to be marked? What am I going to do to get my grade? So this is a 100% coursework program. Each module in the program has specific learning outcomes. There are, however, some general criteria that will be applied. In assessing a student's work, the following factors will be used for guidance. An effectively organized and directed response to the question posed. So when we give you a question to answer, you need to organize it and respond to what is asked. Then an appropriate range of relevant material applied to the work environment. You will need to show us that you have knowledge of the work environment. So the way the question is asked will be usually asking you to choose an organization or use the organization where you work. The ability to evaluate critically all arguments. Whatever statements you make, if you say that my company is the biggest in Hong Kong, you have to tell us who is saying that you're the biggest. Because somebody can argue with you and say, no, your company is not the biggest, my company is the biggest. So you will have to justify. Right? You got to find out where it is stated that your company is the largest or the biggest or the best. D, the ability to justify in a coherent manner. When there is coherence, it is very systematic, very orderly, right? So you have to arrange it in a way that we will understand, that it makes sense. An acceptable standard of literacy. So language is important. You need to be able to use a command of the English language that is acceptable. You must avoid all the spelling mistakes and grammar errors, all right, by using the tools that are provided in Microsoft Word. Adherence to any specified word length. At the workplace, you are given instructions and you have to follow those instructions. So when you are studying this program, we'll give you instructions. And one of the instructions is about word length. How many words you have to write your assignment. You have to read the question because it may change from module to module. And then compliance with other instructions. We'll give you instructions about the font size, the font Times New Roman, telling you about the margins and to use the cover page that is provided. So this is very basic in following of instructions. Now, your coursework can be a management report where we ask you to write a report about something that is happening in your company. It can be an essay about what you think uh, about a particular topic, or it can be a case study. We'll give you the company and ask you to examine that particular company in the case study and try to resolve issues. Part 3 is the program process. So this is the program structure and delivery. So you have 3 stages to cover, 2 stages to cover. Stage 1 is attending 6 months of all these modules. Stage 1. Then stage 2 is to submit a research project. All right. But in between, you have to go for a research methodology workshop. A research methodology workshop is conducted to show you how to carry out research. What do you read? How do you present it? What are the chapters you have to put it in? And for us to approve that project for research that you're going to do, you have to come up with a proposal because we don't give you the title. For all these subjects, we are giving you the question. But for research methodology and your proposal, you are going to decide what area of research you want to do. And therefore, you are going to be required to give us a proposal. And we will read your proposal to see whether this is a doable topic, whether it is something relevant to the BABA program. Okay, and then you are given 3 to 6 months to complete your research project, and then you get your award, right, by BU and UCAM. There are two ways to do this program. If you are on a blended learning mode, so a blended learning mode is a blend of two methods compared to a fully online. If you are in blended, you will have a total of 12 hours of face-to-face and 18 hours of your online tutoring and online interactions and your other type of work like your research. But if you're fully online, where you are not going to a center, then you got to put in and prove to us the 18 hours. We will be able to track that. The duration for completion is 12 to 15 months. So you have 12 to 15 months in order to complete your program. Next. All right. Part 4 is the program support. So program support tells you how we are supporting you, how we are going to support you to complete your studies. So first one is the program resources. Students will be provided access to online learning and management system to enable a student to achieve what? First, what are the things you're going to get? You will have access to a guide and tutorial on how to use the learning system. You will be taught to access online learning materials. You don't have to go and buy any books. The materials are there. Same thing with reference materials like case studies, articles, and e-books. Then access to online module leader. For example, if I'm the module leader for your module, you can contact me via the portal. You will be downloading your assignment question from the portal. We will not email you any document. Everything is in the portal. So downloading, uploading, everything is done on the portal. Then you'll be given a supervisor to even guide you on your research project. And guess what? To get your results, you also go into the portal. This is what the portal looks like. When you open the page, you see Admin, Teachers, Students, Learning Center. You are a student, so you click into Student. And then you will get your sign in. You have your username and password. By now, you should have received it. And then you go into LMS, all right? You go into LMS. And under LMS, you will find the learning management system, which has got all the documents. So the first one is the module specification. If you click onto this, it tells you what are the information for this module. So we are doing business planning for new ventures. And then you go on to the module topics. For example, entrepreneurs and new venture enterprise creation. If you click on this, you will open up a page, all right, which gives you more information. And then you have the module specification. Look at the type of documents that you have stored for you. We have a welcome note, we have a referencing system, then we teach you how to access the online resources. You have free online learning and research resources for business students, which are you. Written work guidelines on how you will present your work, the pagination, the table of contents, all those information that will help you to present it properly. Then you give you a Google Scholar tutorial as a Harvard referencing system. Your assignment cover page is here, and then you have to fill up a plagiarism declaration form and attach it to your assignment. Then when we open up section 1, this one on entrepreneurs and new enterprise, you will see that you will see a document. And if you look at this, it shows you there are 16 pages. So this is just a screenshot of what the first page looks like. It tells you what this module is going to teach you. In this session, we will be exploring theories, concepts, models, frameworks relating to the exciting development in the field of entrepreneurship and new venture creation. And then look at all the learning outcomes. Understand key concepts relating to entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. Understand the nature of environment to the emergence of entrepreneurs and new enterprises. Understand changing attitudes and policies towards entrepreneurship. Identify entrepreneurial attributes and profiles. Access your personal propensity to entrepreneurship. Ask whether entrepreneurship vary gender, decision making. So it gives you a set of learning outcomes, which means in this module, you know you're going to be learning all this, right? Then they even have a learning activity. For example, using the internet, undertake a research to find out more about some famous entrepreneurs. So they give you an activity to do. So you see the number of entrepreneurs you have. And then further guideline. Rather than exploring all the 10 entrepreneurs, students can focus on 4 to 5. With a mix of men and women entrepreneurs, range of products and services, and which classification of entrepreneur do they belong to? For example, these two are airlines. All right. So if you work in an airline, you may want to look at those entrepreneurs. If you work in a supermarket chain, you may want to read this. So similarly, you can choose whatever you prefer. Discussion. Discussion is where you are allowed to key in a question or just your thoughts, and you can share with your teachers, with your students, all students, selected students, or even notify by email. So everybody can see it. Okay. Then there are also something called the recent activities. Every time a message goes in from the administration, you will see a message. So you need to check your portal frequently. For example, this one says, "Dear students, please be informed that the result for strategic management has been published." So if you don't check the portal, the results have come out and you still don't know about it. All right. And there's maybe another message telling who is the module leader. Then comes assessment. If you want the assessment question, you just have to click on this. So this is a document and you can download the assessment question and you can evaluate to see what you're supposed to be doing. Resources are all the materials that are needed for you to answer the questions. So these are all documents, all right, documents. And then we have the library. So gone are the days when you've got to go out to the bookshop and look for material. Now we are providing you with an online library access. So you click onto LIRN, Library and Information Resources. And here you will have uh, the main page for the LIRN. And then you will have this, whether you have videos, audios, documents, presentations. Okay. And then you also have under the LIRN materials which you can choose to view either alphabetical, subject, vendor, or tool. So vendor will be the suppliers of the material. And let's say we choose subject. So under subject, you can even jump to a specific group. So you are doing business, you just click on to business. All right. If you're doing, let's say, um, psychology, you want to read something on psychology to put it into your assignment, you click on to psychology. And then the search for business material. So these are all the different types of material. I'll show you Asian Business European collection. I'll also show you ProQuest Central and imagine ProQuest dissertations and thesis. Samples and samples of dissertations, all for you. So this is the Asian and Business European Business Collection. You see this search and bar. You just key in what you like to search for, and you press search. It'll open up thousands of pages. Here, the ebook central, same thing. If you know of a name of a book, you key in the name of the book and you click search, and you will get all your material. And the dissertations and thesis global. So you will not be able to access this outside of the portal. You'll have to pay for it. So here is provided for you. And again, there's a search bar and you key in a topic that you want to read. And this is the ebook central, for example, business planning. And you click search. And under search, you can see you have 125,000 copies. So the search bar for business planning picks up all the words that match business planning. And you have to go through and look for what is relevant to you. What is the research that you want to read? And then comes the research project. Now, the research project is your final assignment, isn't it? So this repeats the same information. So you don't have to go back to the first file, all right? The first module. But what you will need is you need to look at the module specification for research project to understand what is expected of this module and what you will learn. And then there is a cover sheet which you must attach, all downloadable, which you must attach to your work. And then you have some documents, for example, the referencing system, the research project requirements updated. You need to take a look at the sections because there will be lots of information and you don't try to do this all in 1 week. It's by week you go into it and read it. Resources, materials, books, etc. So this is a textbook. This is a project mark sheet. If you want to know how we are going to mark your work, the mark sheet is there, so no surprises. And then you have got the research project requirements. This is an update, so good to read the update. And then writing the research project. So you may read many of the documents here because some of it make it easy for you to understand. So you need to read more than one. Finally, we come to the program final degree classification. Now, this is a classification for your grades. If you score between 70 and 100, you get a distinction. If you score 60 to 69, it's a merit. 50 to 59 is a pass, and 49 to 0 or below is fail. Here I'd like to elaborate a little. It is so important for you to do your level best. Check your spelling, check whether your table of contents are correct, whether all the diagrams you put in are labeled, whether you have done the chapters that are required. For example, there's an introduction, there's an executive summary, there's a conclusion, there's a recommendation. Do you have all of that? All right. So let's say, for example, you scored a 68 or 69. Let's say you got a 68 or 69. You belong to the merit classification. That's sad, isn't it? Because you just have 2 marks to get a distinction. And your lecturers and the module leader will want you to get a better grade. But we will only give to those who are deserving. Deserving means when we look at your work, you scored 68. We looked at your work and we're trying to give you 2 more marks. How do we give you 2 more marks? We need to go through it all over again, and then we see your margin is not aligned and so many spelling errors, and your numbering system has run. So we feel that you don't deserve the 2 marks. So that is when students will end up getting a 68 or a 69. But if you do it so well and we recheck, we feel that for that 1 mark, I think we can upgrade you. And so you'll be upgraded to a distinction. All right. So do not submit sloppy work. Make sure it's up to mark. And finally, this is the degree classification. So for the BA honors, you get first class 70% and above. Second class upper is 60 to 69. Second class lower is 50 to 59. And a fail is when you get below 50. I would say no one should fail because you're given a question. It's an open book assignment. You can refer to as many documents as you want. We have online support. You have a module leader who will do a delivery of the module. If you're in a center, your center has a lecturer. So it is not possible to not get through the subject. All right, but see how the first class, second class upper and second class lower look like. It is just by a few marks that you can be upgraded. Okay, all right, so I think yes, so this is the end of the presentation. I'd like you to now click on the link provided in your email. You will see there's a Google form. I want you to click on that. Fill up the form, which will only take you about 3 minutes. And then you come back here where I shall do a Q&A. So I shall wait for you. All right, so if there are no questions, then I just want to thank you for joining in this orientation briefing, and I wish you the best of luck in your work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.